Okay. Greetings, commanders. All right, let's get in this live stream going. And I am back in the bubble, trying to make some cash because this freaking cost of the the squadron carrier is a little higher than I thought it would be. I still got one, and I put out a video earlier today, but I got it in Colonia. And here, let me flip over to the view here. Got it in Colonia, and there is no Trit in Colonia for sale in stations. There's been clearly some folks that are kind of assholes that in anticipation of these carriers coming out decided that it'd be funny to buy up all the Trit and then put it up for sale at 100x the price. Ha ha ha. So funny. So instead of Trit being sold for 50,000 per unit, it's now being sold. It's like, I guess it's not 100x, but either way, it's being sold for 2 million per unit from 50,000, which is insane. And I'm obviously not going to go mining for it. So it makes no sense to have a carrier that you can't bring back to the bubble in Colonia. So I put it up for sale or refund. It's going to eat $150 million or credits rather out of that. So it's a bit of a costly mistake to buy it there, but I couldn't buy it in the bubble. It wasn't letting me buy it. So, but in Colonia, I was able to buy it right away. So I think something's going on, but either way now it looks like it'll be another week before the sale is complete. I get my partial refund and then I can buy it. By that point, I'm sure it'll be pretty quiet and everyone will already have bought one that's going to buy one. I'll be able to buy it in the bubble where it's actually going to be useful. I mean, frankly, somebody could load up 50,000 units worth of Trit, fly it out to Colonia, and then make a killing by undercutting everybody else who's selling it there. Because at a 2 million or even $1 million per unit, I mean, that's just highway robbery. That's insane. That's like 40 to 80 times the price. If you sold it there at say 200 instead of 50, that'd be a 400% increase in price. But it wouldn't be completely unreasonable, right? That's the kind of prices you expect to be paying when you're farther away from the bubble. I mean, in the bubble, a lot of people will buy it for 100,000 just to have somebody else fill up their carrier so that they don't have to fill it up themselves. So, what am I up to? Well, I am. Oh yeah, I gotta run the app so we can hear everybody chatting. See if it'll actually work now. See if you're gonna work. Find out. Okay. Oh yeah, I gotta do this. Let's delete. Delete. This is annoying. Delete. Delete. And auto find. There we go. So it should be working. Yes. See if everyone gets the message. I didn't hear anything talk, so maybe not. Huh?
Atlas Rand Gaming says, test.
Okay, that worked. Cool. And let me test it on Kick. Do a little test.
Atlas Rand Gaming says. Test.
And let's do the same thing on Rumble.
Atlas Rand Gaming says.
Yeah, works on there.
Test.
And finally on Twitch, which I don't care as much about, but we'll try it here. Does Twitch even know I'm streaming? They may not. Yes.
Atlas Rand Gaming says. Test.
There we go. Okay. So, oh, and I even have a message. Exile target. Hey, I see your message there. Yeah, I totally agree. The weight sucks a lot more than 150 million. They don't have to charge 150 million. That's just kind of an asshole fee. But the 8 days delay basically means that, you know, we're not going to have a carrier to use for the next week, where people that were able to buy it in the bubble. And again, the reason I bought it in Colonia is purely because I tried 6 times to buy it in the bubble, and it kept giving me a Blackadder error. It just kept airing out. My guess is that people probably, like, as usual, the servers were not anticipating the amount of traffic, the number of people all trying to buy it at the same time in the bubble. And whatever server is running Colonia, there's a lot fewer of them being bought. There were still some. I saw a few out there. But there was clearly a lot fewer being bought there. And after buying it and then checking to see how much it would cost me to buy Tritium to fly it back, I was a little shocked to discover that Tritium is actually not available in Colonia unless you want to pay the crazy, insane scalper prices. There's a couple of carriers that are totally full. They have 25,000 each for sale at 2 million a pop. Now, this is something that's worth 50,000 locally in the bubble. It's usually worth 50,000 in stations in Colonia. But again, asshat maneuvers, they clearly have just been going to the stations and buying it out completely, so there isn't any available at all, except on their carriers. I mean, yeah. The game is not immune from asshat behavior. That's unfortunately the truth. So, all right. Somebody want to say
Exile
something?
Target says. Lame.
There you go. Yeah, lame is exactly right. So the only thing to do, since I can't fly it back, is to put it back up for a refund, and then hope that by next week, when I get the money back, and I get another, you know, it's not like I have another 25 million sitting here waiting. But when I get the money back from the sale of that one, then I can attempt to buy one back in the bubble. Hopefully by that point, everyone who wants one has already got one, and it'll go smoothly. So it's ultimately not a huge thing, but it is annoying. Now, I was able to do a video showing you around the carrier on the one I bought up there, so that part of worked fine. And I tried transferring some stuff back and forth, and everything works, or mostly works. Not everything is obvious. Like when you create new bank accounts, you can select different groups of people to have access to them, but does that mean like they can only see those accounts, or it's not obvious how this stuff works. And then the master account, which is just called all, I tried changing its name. You can't change its name. It goes back to the word all. And by default, everybody has access to it. Well, it's also the account that you have to use to buy the carrier. So that, how stupid is this? So you have an account that everyone has access to in the group at every level, and you have to put 25 million into that account before you can buy a carrier. How about we use a new account just for the administrators of the group, just for the officers of the group? I mean, that would be a smarter way to do it than to always use the all account, the one that by default everyone has access to, as the account that you buy the carrier from. It's just kind of stupid. But I'm sure all these things people will figure it out. I'll make a video about it. I'll probably, well, after I get the carrier back in here, and maybe they will have fixed a few things with the interface. I'll do a more in-depth video just going through and talking about what all the controls, all the settings, how you do stuff in it are. But right now, it's just kind of like, I don't know. And technically, for the week before it's sold, I do have access to it. I can go into my squadron carrier remotely. Obviously, I can't, without physically being there, I can't physically put things in. But it's still sitting in that same system, so I could just pay money to add the services that are turned off. What's interesting is, while it does have universal cartography, it does not have any of the other services. I feel like the music is still kind of loud here, right? It's louder than, I think it's louder than it needs to be, compared to the rest of the game, even though they allegedly made the music quieter now on the screen. But yeah, so by default it's got these three: Tritium, bridge, crew, shipyard, and then the rest of these, like these three R's: repair, rearm, and refuel. You need to buy those before they're active. So that's 40 million, 50 million, and 95. So about 200 million between these. Turn them on, and of course they'll add about 4.5 million to your weekly costs for the carrier, which isn't too bad. So that'd be about 15 million. If you want to sell actual modules aboard the carrier, you have to buy outfitting. So that's 250 million to buy that, and then 5 million a week for costs. Now the good news is, you with 50,000 space, you could definitely have a lot of modules. You could probably carry every single type of module for sale. Which I kind of carried like 90% of the modules on one of my carriers all the time anyway, which is my Buy Parts Here carrier. So that would be the same. And then the only other option they have is universal cartography, which, still takes its like 25% cut compared to what you get at a station. So it's something nobody ever uses, because you have to be pretty desperate to drop off universal cartographics in there, given how little the payout is. So, and like, you can't have exobiology, you can't have the store you can buy the guns and suits for, the whatchamacallit outfitters. You can't have a bar in there. So it is definitely more limited than the normal carriers. I assume other people can land, not just people from your group, but I'm not sure how that works, because also, if you go into budgets here, normally we would have the ability to set up sales of items like a normal carrier. Here the only options are managed service tariffs, which I always encourage people to put at 0, because you're not going to make much anyway, and you don't want to be a dick. Maybe you do if you're one of those people that bought all the trade up. Yeah, maybe they'll add other specific servers. That's interesting. Your message did not come through in the chat thing.
Lord Narkowicki says, "Hey Atlas." Lord Narkowicki says, 07 Commanders.
Hey, Narco.
Exile Target says,
There you go,
wonder
now
if
your
they plan
stuff's
on
coming
adding
through.
some other services specific to squadron carriers to replace the bar and genomics.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if they do, it'll probably be a while. I kind of don't think that'll happen immediately. And then, let's see. So this is, yeah, so you can't fill up your carrier and sell commodities like normal. You have to do it from your squadron bank, which is, you would go into commodities here and you would transfer them to the carrier, or you would deposit them in there. But I think that just gives other people in your group access. I don't think it actually puts them up for sale. So at least from what I'm seeing, the this carrier, the squadron carrier, does not have commodity trades or commodities. Well, let me rephrase that. It doesn't have commodity sales the way you can set it up on normal carriers. It would only have commodity trades to members. So you could load it up full of commodities, but it would be only available to other members who you've given the rights to be able to pull from there, not to just generic people that would land on the carrier and then be able to buy stuff. So yeah, what do we have on the normal carrier? Let me look. How does that compare if we log into the normal carrier management? So yeah, commodity trading, that's what it's missing, right? You can't manage markets or do commodity trading on there. And that's right there. So bridge crew, commodity trading, and then tritium and refuel. And if we go to the squadron carrier, once it loads, yeah, bridge crew, tritium, no commodity trading. So you're not able to just simply use it as a larger store for stuff you're selling. So it really is meant purely for trade amongst the squadron.
I just got here.
Well, you missed everything, man. Did I walk into the bank area? Yeah, we can go into the bank. So there's the bank area. Overview shows you your carrier capacity there. The breakout of what's using it. You can see on the carrier that's going to be refurbished and going back to being refunded. We got 57,000 space. So that's basically the way it comes. Is out of 60 you have 3 used and 57,000 free. So that's a lot of storage for hauling stuff for like colonization, with the caveat that you're not selling it to random people. You're only hauling it for other members of your group. They're the only ones that would have permission to get stuff in there.
Fat says, I thought I heard about the bank having a physical location in the carrier.
It just says bank with a screen. I think I walked by it in my video. I don't know if you watched the video that I did earlier today, where I walked around the inside of the carrier. I'm not at it anymore. I went back to the bubble. I put the carrier up for sale. There's no TRIT available in Colonia. It's all sold out. So there's no way to fly it back, which means the only way to have a carrier in the bubble is to sell the one in Colonia, and then once that sale is complete, which takes a week for them to give you your money back, and not all of it, they keep 150 million for your trouble. But once I get that money back, then I can buy another one in the bubble itself.
Says, I saw the earlier one video.
Yeah, that's the only one video that I made today. So, but I walked by there. I don't think I stopped at the bank, but it's not like it's a bank bag. It's just a display screen. And then we have the personal assets in here that you can move things. So you have 4 things. You can move money, ships, commodities, which is what we would use for, either building colonization or buying and selling to make money, and personal assets. It does have an elevator. I showed that in the video, dude. Did you watch my video? I used the elevator. If you didn't see the elevator, you should rewatch the video. And then personal assets, which would be like your kind of the materials that you gather. You can, like for on foot stuff, you can put in here, and it's the kind of stuff that you could previously trade through the bar. You can now do that through the carrier, through the direct personal assets. So that's really the deal with the carrier. I think its biggest use is going to be what I originally thought, which is simply as a larger hauler of materials for building out colonization projects. So instead of 25,000, you got 50,000. Actually,
That
57,000.
says, it sounds to me like squadrons is not very useful so far.
Well, I disagree, dude. I think it is actually quite useful. It's just the carrier portion of it is very limited and specific to the squad. So our previous carriers, the one I'm comparing it to, were really made for you as an individual to be able to theoretically at least make money. You could sell parts, which I was doing, and that was going quite well during the Thargoid invasions. People would want to redo their ships, and I sold all kinds of parts right next to the Thargoids. You can use them for storage and hauling, like we did in colonization, and you could sell materials. Like you could actually put a buy order and have somebody else fill up your carrier if you were paying profits immediately to somebody doing that right out of the systems where the materials could be gotten from. This one is very different in that I don't know if other people can land on it. I would assume so. I did not test landing on somebody else's carrier. Somebody else, I'm sure, has done that. But you can't buy or sell anything on the carrier. You can only trade materials with other people in your squad. So it really, truly is a squadron carrier. That's the only people that have access to things. They have access to ships, they have access to goods, and they have access to money. And all of that is configurable, obviously. The weekly upkeep is going to be about 15 million when everything's turned on, which is not bad. I pay 30 million per each of my carriers right now. So I'm, dropping like 100 million every week on maintenance costs. This one's going to be fairly inexpensive, and it'll come out of the group wallet. It has way too many parking spaces on it. It's got a couple of meeting rooms, new locations that haven't existed previously in the game that are going to be, I'm sure, used by a lot of people for role play. Because you literally have like one area that has tiered seating and a meeting room and like a whiteboard or a monitor in front and a little stage for a guy to stand on. So I could totally see like the anti-Xeno guys all sitting there in their tiered seating chairs, listening to Commander Meccan explain what the strategy is this time around and who they're going to be killing and, who they're not going to be killing. That kind of thing. So that's one room. There's another kind of an enclosed downstairs room that you take an elevator to that is for also potentially for doing meetings, but also a secondary place for people to sit if they don't want to sit on the bridge when the carrier is doing jumps. And the fact that you have to take an elevator to it, I think that's a nice touch. And they could certainly add more to the carrier. They have 3 spots that are just not activated right now that you walk past. They still have the escape pods just like before. So yeah, it's. I think it's nice that it's there. It's a little lazy in terms of the artwork because it looks like they just ripped up 2 carriers worth of landing pads and slapped them to the body of a really skinny carrier. This nose, I think, is the same as one of the basic ones that comes with. In all these parts, everything that's the carrier's made from is just reutilized. So there's not a whole lot of new stuff visually on there, but they do have those 2 rooms, and I guess that's something. It's better than nothing. And the main thing, carrier aside, that you have is you finally have a bank that you can use to share, distribute money, collect money, do all the fun things that have a single account, where in the past what people have done is just created a new account in the game to become basically the bank teller. So that when you have groups that are all, like donating money towards some group cause or some group prize that's going to be done, it would all go to a single person, and then that account would be the bank teller. Now it's all built in. They did a pretty good job. I think it's similar to what EVE Online has. You can have multiple different bank accounts, and you can have different levels of access, though there are really only 5 levels of access, including the top one, which is the owner of the group, which is the one person that actually created the group in the first place. So really there's 4 that are configurable and 1 that's automatic built-in access to everything. But out of the 4 groups, you can kind of configure the settings however you want, so that you can set up who has access in general to an account, and it's separate for donating money or putting money in versus taking money out. And you can set it up so that when people take money out, there's a weekly limit on the maximum amount they take out. So for example, let's say you want to give people the ability to, grab money if they need it for an emergency basis or whatever, but you may want to limit that to, say, the cost of one ship, like 100 million. Like, you buy most ships in the game for 100 million. So you could say that you can take money out from this account, which has billions in it, but only up to 100 million per week. So that somebody doesn't just go and steal the whole damn bank.
It is just so easy to get a Mandalay scanning Stratum Techanize. I am not sure that the squad carrier has a value as it is anymore.
Mandalay scanning Stratum Technic. Well, one has nothing to do with the other, so I don't know where you're going with that. You've always been able to do scan for Stratum Tectonicus, and you didn't need a carrier for that before. You still don't need a carrier for it now. The key thing, and that's a solo activity, by the way. That's not a group activity. So the carrier is really meant for group activity. I think Anti-Xeno is going to use this a lot for role play, for staging events, for planning stuff. It gives them a bank, the ability to do like a contest and say everybody puts in $1 billion into the carrier, and then over the course of one weekend, whoever has killed the most Medusas or whatever, come up with some formula for what you want to kill. Maybe it's the most Hydras or the most combination of things, and then that person gets whatever's in the bank. So you might have somebody getting 10 billion at the end of one weekend. So that was not easily possible. You'd have to kind of work around your way to do that in the past. Now it's totally doable. And so the bank functionality, I think, is very useful. The huge loadout that can be used for building fairly quickly and without having multiple trips of carriers, for building potentially even 2 separate stations, small stations in space for colonization. That's pretty big. Or 1 larger station that you could bring most of the materials with, or all of the materials with, in one carrier. And especially for people that again, this is meant for people that play as a group, not people that play as individuals. So all the benefits you're going to see from the carriers have to do with the groups. Why am I just sitting here? I need to be actually making money. This is why I came back here, is because I need to make another $1 billion before the CG ends. Otherwise, because right now, after dropping 25 mil on this thing, my account is under $1 billion for the first time in like years. So I need to be hauling, and making money to recoup from that.
Fat says, "Did you find my carrier?"
Shit, no. I'm going to do that right now.
Elanther says, "Interesting to note is the bank doesn't seem to notify you when someone deposits. I deposited in 200M and watched your screen to see if there'd be a notification."
Yeah, it does not, but it does show up in the log, right? So you'd probably want to send a message. You can do that from the message screen for the group now as well. But if you go to the log, so if we go to squadron carrier, well, either squadron carrier or squadron, and then I go to bank, and then I go to transaction log, I can see that you deposited 150 million 3 minutes ago. And I can see I withdrew 10 graphene. So it tracks both money and items. So I put in 10 graphene here, and then I took out 10 graphene there. So then you deposited 225 million here, 150 million there. So it does have a record of all this stuff, which is good. You can kind of reconcile at the end of the week where all the changes were. Oh, like Noah Handler deposited $1 billion earlier
Elanther
today.
says, "Oh, I figured the log would say something. Just was curious if the game would notify you as an owner."
Does
/
not.
officer.
That's probably good feedback for them, for non-bug related feedback. That it would be helpful if there was some kind of a group notification for that. But I think right now you're just going to basically have to rely. In fact, here, let's do it through this screen. It's the where is it? On the right here. Would be the bulletin board screen. So you could do an open chat. Oh, I guess that just takes you here. There you go. So you could just send the message. Yeah. Too many buttons. There we go. So you could do send the message. Hey, this is stuff. So that's the first one. So this is okay. So this is, they created this with Bolton. So this not everybody will have access to, because obviously we don't want to get flooded with Boltons here. But any of the leadership can create a Bolton that's posted here. Interesting thing, they totally screwed up the previous. So this was an actual message turned into garbage. No idea why. This was a message, says, to the guys on the carrier to Colonia. This is back from April of this year. Be aware, or yeah, we are 40 of the trip now. Okay, so we are 40 probably light years of the trip at this point. So that was a notification message. It totally screwed it up. Used to be formatted normally. Now it was screwed up. This message I put in today, so this one's now formatted properly. There we go. And we got one more application for the squadron here. So it's giving me a little, you've never looked at this before screen. Ken Darby. Get back to lead after regular watching your video still learning game. Squadron, see how the new Vanguard chains go. Australia, play start times a week, mostly bounty hunting. Cool. Preview application. There we go. And we'll see if he's on Discord as well. Once he's in Discord, I can actually upgrade his level of what he is.
Fatfatifat says, "I just do not see how that squad bank is going to help. Is it set up so that people can use it to repair and rearmor X amount a day? But it also needs to allow that done outside of the carrier itself."
Yeah, the carrier has nothing to do with the bank for money. The carrier you need in order to do the bank of items. The carrier is basically a floating station that allows you to store things on there that you want to share communally. So that, let's say you go do on-foot missions, you get a whole bunch of graphene, right? Which is, I'm using graphene because that's one item that I tried doing this with, depositing and then taking back. So you end up collecting a bunch of stuff. There's no point in skipping things. You might as well collect everything now, because when you've got this carrier in place, you can dump it onto the carrier, and then if the settings permissions are set properly, which I'm still playing around with, then like anybody would be able to grab it if they need it. So I think the carrier will help newer players that maybe don't have everything already fully permanently upgraded to 5, all their suits, all their guns, all that stuff. And those of us that do have everything at 5, we can donate our excess materials to those folks. You know, for commodities, I think the best use of the carriers is just double capacity for building stuff. And if somebody wants to, you know, do a construction project with a carrier, that you just basically say, hey, can I use the carrier for this?
That I can see being helpful, the engineering items.
Yeah, that's helpful. And let's say you're building out a new system and you want to load, or you want to jump your own carrier less frequency. You just say, hey, is the carrier being used by anybody else? No. Okay, can I use it? Sure. So then, you know, load it up full of stuff And then when you get to your destination, unload it from the group carrier. So it's just like a large carrier. It's just double capacity. You can only have one of them, but you know, everyone, well, I shouldn't say everyone. A lot of people already have personal carriers as well, so this just adds to it. So with a combination of a normal carrier that you probably already have and the use of this carrier, you could literally build any size station in one trip with just 2 carriers. Or am I wrong in that? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But how much material do you need for the T3 stations? Is it more than 75,000 units? I don't remember off the top of my head. But either way, it's a large facility. Now, what I want to start doing is more group activities. Like when the new mining ship comes out, I want to do a group mining activity where we're just going to be filling up this carrier.
Fat says, I have seen what happens
220?
shared items.
Okay. All right.
Elanther says, T3 stations are 220M. Elanther says,
220? Okay.
220K.
Yeah. Okay, so you can't build it from one trip, though. But still, that would be like this in the regular carrier done by one person. That's 75,000 per. So then that's 3 trips. 3 of these instead of 9. 3 instead of 9 is pretty good. So that's another use. I mean, again, it doesn't have to be. I'm sure some people will use that space up just filling it with ships as well. And it's coming out of the same space.
Says, I think it's like 250,000 units for AT3.
Again, I need to frickin' be going here into my pickup spot.
Fat says, I am in for that group mining activity. Just sign me up now.
Yeah. I figured you would be. I obviously am as well, and I think a lot of people, well, anybody that buys this ship, I think is going to be. But again, the goal there would be we try and fill up the carrier as much as possible. So the carrier would be parked close to the mining spot.
Is the median. 250K, I think, is the top end.
Okay, well, whatever, close enough. So there's definitely uses for it. What they've essentially done is allowed us to exchange money without doing workarounds. Because how would you exchange money before this, right? If you have 2 different people, or even 2 accounts with the same person, like a lot of us have 5, 6, 7, 8 accounts. How do you trade money between the characters? The only way to do it previously is by manipulating prices on commodities that you sell out of your carrier. So you buy something really cheap, then you crank the price way up to take money from the character that's buying it, or you buy something expensive and then you sell it for less than that price from the carrier that you're trying to move money to.
So are the V1 SCO or other SCOs going to be shareable? Can you share the CG items such as the cargo racks?
I don't know. Have not tried that. I'm sure we'll find out before too long. My understanding is you can put any ship in there as long as it doesn't have engineering. So I mean, I guess they could have put in some specific prevention to keep you from putting the latest ship that just got released that's only available for money to be shared. Like, if they did that, I wouldn't be surprised. So that you could share any ship except for the Panther. But I didn't try that. I didn't try sharing the Panther. I didn't have a spare Panther to throw in there. So I haven't tried that. Because again, this thing is sitting in Colonia right now, waiting to be decommissioned. So it's not an easily in an easy spot. And I'm really pissed at the guys that just screwed the market on TRIT out there. That's just such a dick move. Basically just go to stations every day and buy out all the TRIT so that nobody can leave Colonia unless they want to go mining for TRIT. Or pay crazy prices, like instead of 50,000, which is the normal price, they're selling it for 2 million a piece. So what is that, like 40 times or 60 times, whatever it is? Just insane, crazy increase in cost. Obviously not doing that. Normally, your cost of a carrier between Colonia and the bubble is about 6,000 units. So 6,000 units, you figure, is it could be as cheap as 300 million, but let's say 400 million just to be safe. And that, which is also why a lot of people will buy it for more than, they'll put a buy order for more than 50, just so they don't have to load it themselves. They'll pay 100.
Lord NarcoWiki says, I wonder if Guardian modules will be eligible to share.
That's another good question. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. And if this thing was somewhere where I had all these things, I could try sharing them, but unfortunately I'm not. Yeah, for those kinds of questions, I think we're going to find out before too long, but I'm not likely to be the one to find that out. There'll probably be other people's videos. Once I sell that thing and once the sale is complete and I can rebuy it in the bubble, then I'll go through and actually make a video showing all this stuff. But over the course of the next week, I think, whatever I can do remotely, I'll show. But some of the specific stuff you guys are bringing up, I just can't do because it's in Colonia. Unless somebody else is in Colonia and you've got a Guardian module and you want to try storing it in the carrier and see how that works. And there's also, obviously, there's normal storage where you just put a ship in with something and it's just your ship. But then there's a storage that is accessible to everybody. And I can show you what as soon as I land here. What am I doing? I've got auto land.
Okay, Commander.
So let it do it. So if we go to
Automated docking confirmed.
Squadron Carrier, and you go to the bank, and you go to ships. So you can do a deposit ship. So it lets you select one of your ships that you want to. Here, I could probably do it with this Sidewinder, although that's not in Colonia, so that never mind. I was going to say I could deposit this Sidewinder, but it'll take 60 hours to deposit there. So you're still paying like the normal fee. All these ships I don't want to do it with because they're all customized with stuff. They all have engineering, so I mean, honestly, like I don't have any unengineered ships unless I bought one specifically for that. Even my backup ships are engineered. But, again, if someone's in Colonia and they want to try doing that, how much is it going to cost for me to ship this? 42,000.
Fat says, you should be near my carrier where you are.
Where is 60 hours? Oh, yeah? Okay, here, let me
Landing sequence completed.
focus, get out of this. So I just landed at, what system is the carrier? Is it an LT-74? Is it really? Then I'll go to your carrier instead. I don't have my thing open, so I don't remember off the top of my head if this is a system.
Fat says, LTT-70 for Planet 7.
Oh, Planet 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And Starboard. There we go. Cool. Let me go there.
Docking clamps retracted. Go for departure.
Joey, you in here? I had lunch with Joey today. He was in Austin, so we grabbed lunch together. Got some good Texas barbecue. That'll make you jealous, Top Hat. There it is.
Audemars says, held a message for using channel block terms. Allow will post it to chat. Fat says, my cheap CNN is the best stuff in the galaxy. Fat says, I miss good barbecue.
Yep. Yeah, we went to Black's. Down off of, what the hell is that street? Oh. So, carriers. That one. Oh, they did a change to carriers, guys, which is awesome. It doesn't work with other people's carriers, unfortunately, that are in the group, but your carrier now will show up in this list that I'm looking at, even if you have carriers turned off. So you can just go like stations, and your personal carrier will always show up in here, which makes it so much easier for finding your carriers than it used to.
Christopher Daffron says, why not do the Starlace station to Umbreon landing route for CMM composites?
I don't know. I don't like landing on planets mostly. And Top Head has CMM in his carrier that I'm going to grab.
Yup, Terry Black.
Yeah, Barton Springs. That's right. Yep, that's the place. That's where we went to. First time he has ever had Texas barbecue. So if any of the rest of you end up coming down to Austin at some point, let me know in Discord and we'll go do the same thing. Narco, you'd probably like that.
Fat says, really? How did he like it?
Oh, he thought it was awesome. He also filled up his car at Buc-ee's, and he's like, man, it smelled amazing when I was getting my car filled up. Like, yeah, on the way back, you definitely need to stop at Buc-ee's and grab some food. Buc-ee's is a chain of the largest gas stations in the world.
LMFAO.
They have anywhere between 60 and 100 gas pumps. And their gas station store is the size of like a Walmart. And has all kinds of food and all kinds of yummy stuff.
Maybe one day.
There's actually a video, Narco, of some British dudes that come down to Texas and go to a Buc-ee's and try a lot of different food. It was pretty funny watching them. Okay, I need to fly a little faster here. Oh, I'm flying next to a planet. That's why I'm so close, but it's going so slow.
Fat says, Bucks is the holy land of Texas. Ha 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 ha, the most well-watched Brits going to Bucks is jolly.
It does ha 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 pretty well. Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that. They were trying all kinds of stuff.
You're clear for automated approach. Please sit back and relax, Commander.
So whoever was asking about landing on the planet, Christopher Daffron, I don't know. I mean, you tell me, because you've done it, obviously. I just generally dislike landing and taking off planets, but does the difference in time, because it takes longer to get to a planet, slow down, actually come in for a landing, does that extra time still made up for by the higher sale price of the items? Because I kind of feel like it'd be pretty damn close. Like landing on the planet to get CMM takes longer, so you could do more flights of just selling titanium. And how much more money would you make off the CMM per hour versus selling titanium per hour, given that you could do more runs of the titanium? Now here I'm kind of cheating because I'm buying CMMs off a carrier, so it's, you know, it's giving you the best of both worlds. It's giving me a shorter time to land and a higher price for when I sell it at the let's first of all, let's go full speed and then go here. Back to the Nerva. And then Ellen Theor, you were the one that you were saying you don't like the sound of the boost. 'Cause I kind of like it. I think it's a nice boost sound. Why am I going to be mass locked? Come on.
Frameshift drive charging.
Fat Fatafat says, I think the Clipper's boost fits what it is.
You have less than no fire zone.
Elanther says, I never said I didn't like it. I just noted they added a new sound.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you didn't like it. Okay. Oh, I'm facing the wrong
Christopher
way.
Daffron says, I like how they moved the light further down to avoid blocking the range meter.
Yeah, it's good, but it's clearly out of place because you can see where it used to be. There's an indent for it. They just kind of did a drag and drop of the
Elanther
graphics.
says, admittedly, it did make me think my speakers were going out the first time I heard it. LOL.
Ha! Funny. Yeah, so you can see they just took the buttons themselves and then just shifted them down. But what you have is an indent behind where the buttons used to be that has, like, nothing there. So, I don't know. I think that they should have done a little bit more work. Honestly, I think all they had to do was change the two white buttons to be that sort of dull yellow color, and they wouldn't have been noticeable, even in the original location. It was just the fact that they were white. That was just oh shit! I'm going in too fast. It was just the fact that they were white that was just blowing through everything.
Fat says, did anyone check if they fixed the light issues in the bay when changing the livery?
We can check that now. You're talking about the regular ships or the carriers themselves? The carrier livery screen looks fine. I did that earlier today, but I haven't looked at the livery for the regular ships today. But the biggest change to me is the fact that you can see your own carriers in here now. Even if it's the carriers are not selected in the filter. Like that is super useful, because it was always a pain to find your own carrier when you got a lot of carriers in the system.
Jobs on the Clippers.
So the paint, so describe the issue and then we'll take a look. By the way, I got 70 hours of Battlefield 6 over the 2 weekends. Being pretty proud of testing the shit out of that game. Okay, I got all the guns unlocked to maximum. Except, I think there's 2 that I didn't. Every other gun.
Lack of lighting when looking at fleet changes and or shipments of bays.
Alright, we'll take a look.
Fat says, only on the Christopher Dafford says, are you planning to trade in your personal fleet carriers now that you have the squadron carrier?
No, because we only get one of those. And I think that'll be utilized for community related stuff, and I still am going to use my personal ones for personal stuff. I mean, I do see that I'm sure there are some people there, and I'm kind of looking at Narco here, Narco Wookie, that have like 100 million sitting in their bank account, and so they could just buy a 25 billion. I meant billion when I said million, but that they could buy a 25 million credit carrier on a second or third account and just have a few of the group fleet carriers on their individual accounts. But I think for most people, they're not going to do that. I'm definitely not going to. Shit, I barely could afford to buy this one. I haven't been hauling like for the last 3 weeks like some of you guys. Some of you guys probably made 25 billion in the last month. I'd be lucky if I made 500 million.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh, that's another thing that's kind of neat, is if you go to the squadrons on the feed, it shows you people doing stuff. So there, I decommissioned the carrier. Elmthier gained rank elite. Right there. It tells you that happened. See if there's anyone here. This no handler made first footfall. So it'll list things that are of interest to everybody. So you can say he did 1, 2, 3 different systems first footfall. So that's cool. And then you can see the whole log of stuff. All right, so wait. You got another application? Oh, that's the one I did. Okay, yeah, that one's approved. Okay. All right, let me sell this stuff and then we'll take a look at the lighting.
Tortoise414 says, hi all.
Hey, Tortoise, what's going on? All right, so you want me to look at livery? Where am I going on this top hat? Walk me through. So just pick any random ship kit or paint? Is that it? I didn't really recall seeing issues with lighting on those.
Lord Narkowiki says, admittedly I could do that, but the commander is already committed to a squadron.
Hmm.
Fat Fatafat says, just look at paint C.
Okay.
It is too dark to see.
All right. I'd say it's not too dark. I'd say it's pretty light. Yeah, they definitely turned the lighting on to be better. I really like this black paint on here. That looks nice. They still don't have the gold and silver paints yet, though.
Fat Fatafat says, try ship kits.
Dry ship kits, okay. It's pretty bright. Oh, did they add one more? I don't recall there being another one.
Fat
Yeah.
Fatafat says, nope, it is not too
Oh,
dark.
they have little little flappy wings now. You can get. So no kit. One of the old kits look kind of crappy. This kit I like the look of more, and this one's got little flappy foldy wings. Huh. Yeah, I've never liked this thing. This is just ugly. And this is kind of ugly. It just looks like it doesn't belong there. What does this add? Ooh. So this is consignment kit. Part of a pack. You get 3 theme kit pieces, 4 paint jobs. Huh. Well, that's not too bad. I mean, I think this is still pretty good. That's not too bad. What do you get for that piece up here? So you get kind of a half wing.
Fat
So this
Fatafat says,
the full wing.
is there new paints?
Yeah, well, there's new kit. Paints are the same that they were last week. Merchant wings. So it's a moving part. So they've added a moving part to it. Basically, I still think this looks nicer. Like that ship part. Yeah, I don't want that bumper. I take that, or I'll take that over it. For nothing. Although those aren't too bad. And then, oh, let's see this piece. So you could have folding wings back here. So it's got 2 sets of folding wings. That's funny. Huh. I generally just run with that little power play banner. But you could do a little flappy wing on there. Where's the other flappy wing go? So that's one flappy wing, and the other one went. Well, how the hell is that different? This is the rear on the outside of the thruster, right? Or no, this is the front. Oh, so you can have a flappy wing on the front one and on the back one if you want. Okay. You guys know what I mean by flappy wing, right? They move. So, yeah, so that's this one. You can have that. So, and then there'll be one on the front as well. So you'll have one in. So that'll make the ship quite a bit wider when it doesn't have its feet down. So, yeah, fun times coming into the slot without having your gear lowered. You're going to be with those things extended. Screw that. I'm not, definitely not doing that. Hard enough going in there. But I think lighting wise, it all looks good. Hey, anybody remember off the top of their head when the mining ship is supposed to come out? What day? Oh, really?
Crystal
That's
Redacted
too bad.
says, I'm not going to miss landing pad 40 at Starlay Station when the CG is over.
Yeah. I thought they said it was supposed to come out in September. Didn't they say September?
You have cleared the no-fire zone. Flight control signing off.
Because they still have one more ship to do in December. So this is the second ship, and then we should get the third one in December.
Guess end of October.
Really? End of
Fat
October for the
Badabat
mining
says,
one?
They said
Oh, that sucks. Oh, I thought it was next month. I kind of got all ready to do a little mining in that. Yeah, what I think what we'll probably do is do like a group mining activity. Oh yeah, I gotta turn on carriers in here. Do a group mining activity, and then the sales of all that will go into the account to pay for all the weekly maintenance. Okay, so here we go. Someone's got theirs here. You can see the blue icons. So that is that group's private carrier, right? The squad carrier. It shows up as a blue
Songs
icon.
Van Inner says, 3 months after Panther.
Yep. Docking. Okay. So now this tells us docking access is always squadron. Uh-huh. Yeah. So where is what the heck's your ship called again? The Starbird. There we go. One thing to note too is
Fat says, you know you can bookmark it, and then you can always see it load.
you know, I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Let me just do it again. Oh, bookmark it. There we go. Let me go back to this ship. Okay, so it's blue. One thing you guys notice. The other thing about it is, was I gonna check? Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna check. So see the name? See it says the Rogues Den / TRSD. So the TRSD is like our GALT. That's their abbreviation for the Rogues Den. The Rogues Den, right? So for these ships, it automatically adds the squad name to the end. I hope they do that with all these carriers as well. Because obviously what people are doing right now is this. Just putting their squad in brackets in the front of the, which I think is actually very helpful. I'm encouraging people to do that as well. We might have that as a requirement before too long. But if they do it automatically, then there's no need to do it manually, because it would just show the squad that owns that ship at the end behind the name. And then you're not taking up characters of the name for the abbreviation either. So I kind of like that. I really hope they do that for everything automatically. And just like, you know, who owns Deep Space? So this is no squad. Okay, maybe that's why they can't do it, because some people don't have squads. But like this Paladin Consortium. So that could be Richard P. Feynman / whatever their abbreviation for that consortium is. I think that would be nice if that was automated the way it is for the squad carriers. Rogues Den. So as you start seeing these blue icons, just keep in mind you can't land on them because they're only for members.
Fat says, wouldn't just be better to give squadron carriers a different color to the same tag?
Well, they are a different color, dude. They're blue. Or do you mean like everybody with the same tag has a different color? Yeah, they could do that, but I think that would be harder for them to do. That's more work.
Fat Fatafat says, I mean Squadron's personal carriers.
I mean, they also could do, yeah. I get it. But they also could use the
Street
little
Element
icon.
says, thanks
So-
for subscribing, Mark.
So this is the icon. Unfortunately, they don't have a dollar sign. I would have used a dollar sign, which is what I had in Eve back when we were doing this. They don't have a dollar sign icon to pick from for logos. I mean, there's a lot of them, but most of them kind of suck. So I just did gold bars. And I don't know if that color may be a little too yellow, but the orange is a little too orange. Which one of these do you think looks more like gold? I think that's too yellow. It's either that
Fatafat
or that.
says, LMFAO, no one gets that but you and I.
What, the gold color or dollar sign? I think a lot of people do. I've had a lot of comments from people, just randoms, leaving me comments saying, oh, is that what I think it means? So I think a lot of people read that book. And this is nice. I like this screen, so we can see that we have 6 members online right now.
Psalms Van Enner says, hey, now I see they dropped the line of lights on the dash on the Panther.
Read the owner census, Commander. Standard flight regulations are in place around this carrier.
CMDR Nemesis 007 says, 07.
Hey, how are you?
Fat Fatafat says, can you click on a
Permission
member and
granted.
see their
Please
carrier for
approach your
colonizations?
designated landing pad in good time.
I can try it. I don't believe that's true. I think I did that
Please sit
before.
back and relax, Commander.
So if we click on... Yeah, nothing happens. Literally nothing. And right click takes you out of it. So like right click just kicks you out of the whole thing.
Landing gear deployed.
So that would be a no. Be nice if it did. For sure. And this is their new Squadron browser they've got. Oh, I like some of these
Fat
icons. That's kind of
Fatafat
neat.
says, that is a shame talk about a useful squadron commodity.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I agree.
Landing complete. Commence shutdown. Greetings, Commander. We are glad to have you.
We're gonna have a lot of devil-looking ones, that's for sure. That one I totally expected. That they have a mug image that you can use. The problem is it doesn't wrap the picture around it. It just slaps it flat. So it doesn't look great, but it doesn't look too bad with this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still a little too limiting. I don't understand why they don't just let you upload your own GIF or JPEG in there and just be done with it. Just let you create it in whatever program you want. What am I doing? I'm buying stuff from you.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity. Landing gear ready.
Now, one cool thing,
Landing plan.
which is just random luck,
Departure authorized.
is for this CG in Minerva, it's actually owned by Liang Rui. And so I'm actually
CMD
getting.
Nemesis 007 says, can't have a squad carrier fixed. Our squad leaders can't buy the squad carrier because it's trying to assign the same ID as their existing carrier and just plain crashing the game.
Yeah, mine was doing that as well, and I ended up buying it. And I can't tell you the exact solution, but I can tell you three things to try. So I ended up buying mine in Colonia rather than in the bubble, and it worked up there. It didn't work in the bubble. So it could be that too many people are trying to buy them in the bubble. That's number one. Number two, my account that was in Colonia was the one that created the group.
Elanther, since you are
All right,
watching,
guys, let me
I've
answer the
gotten a wild
question before
hair
you
on my
start
backside,
chiming in on
and
this
I'm
stuff.
going to finish your Orbis station near Elanther's Rest.
All right, so don't comment till I answer this. So Nemesis. So the second thing is make sure that the guy who started the group is the one that buys the carrier, because that could have been the other reason that it worked for me in Colonia didn't work in the bubble, was because my guy that was started the group, that account was actually in Colonia. So make sure whoever started your group is the one trying to buy the carrier as well. Thirdly, don't buy it in Colonia like I did, because there's no freaking fuel in Colonia to run it back down. Because there's some asshats up there that have bought all the tritium, and so you literally cannot fly a carrier back down unless you want to mine for the tritium yourself, which is god awful. So don't do that. But yeah, I don't know if this is true or not, but it is kind of likely that either they have an issue with too many people all trying to buy at the same time in the bubble, or they don't tell you this, but they only allow the person that created the group originally to be the one that buys the carrier. So try those things with your group. Mm-hmm.
CMDR Nemesis 007 says, I'll pass that on thanks dude.
Yep. It's one of those three things. I just don't know which one. In fact, let me know if it works for them, what they tried. Let me know as well, because I want to stick that in the video. Because I just couldn't narrow it down.
Psalms Van Enner says, then they have to upload and download it from their servers for every custom to call. Now everybody has them in their client.
Yeah, but there's no, like, it's still too limiting. We're going to have a whole bunch of people with very similar decals. I know it's easier for them, but meh. A lot of games let you upload stuff. Even games like World of Warships, you know, they let you upload a clan tag, and it's displayed. Oh yeah, so I was saying before that question came up, because Starlace.
CMDR Nemesis 007 says, will do. I'll post in Discord if it works.
Yeah. Thank you.
Lord Narkowookie says, I could bring the tritium you need to the boat. The commander I need to send
Sorghum Peterson, Golf Alpha Lima.
isn't coming back.
Prepare the landing pad for your
It might
arrival,
take a
Commander.
couple of days
Welcome to
now.
our station.
So keep in mind that to bring a 17,000 or even 25,000 is what I calculated. To bring that to Colonia is going to eat 6,000 of it on the trip out there. So you're going to have whatever's left. Flying the group carrier back may actually eat more than 6,000. We don't know yet because it's based on mass. And I assume that the new carrier's mass is not identical to the old carrier's mass, but maybe they left it the same. Who knows?
Landing permitted. Cleared for
But
landing on docking
yeah, I
clamps
mean, if you
range.
want to do that, look, it's in a refunded state for the next 8 days or 7.5 days now. So I can cancel that anytime during those 7 days. So if you decide to bring a carrier with enough fuel for me to bring this one back, I'm happy to do that. That was kind of my original plan, is I'll just buy the fuel to be able to bring it back. And then we'll have our carrier, even though I bought it in Colonia. But then I started checking prices for the Trit, and it was like, no. Not going to pay
Says,
$2 million a
there is a
pop.
thing in the squad members area that allows you to make someone else the squadron owner. Did you try that?
Is there? No, I didn't see that. Let me look.
Landing successful. Clear to disembark. Security forces are on the
So
road
in
to
here,
the
squadrons. Where did you see it?
I would advise you don't provoke them.
So I assume it's in the ranks and permissions. So leader. Okay, that's permissions. How about actually looking at them? Squadron browse, maybe? No, that's not it. That's looking at all the squadrons. How'd you get to that? Roster? Okay. Blah de blah de blah de blah. Oh, interesting. So everybody can actually set a status that's visible. Like if you're going to be gone for 2 weeks on vacation, you're not going to play. That's a good place to put that so people aren't waiting on you to get something done. That's useful. So we got stats. Interesting. So you're saying you can promote somebody else to leader? Ah, I didn't know that. I would have tried it if I would have seen it. Good call. That may have been, and again, I don't know if it's because the servers were busy or because it
Tortoise
truly
14 says,
wants only the leader to buy
that's
it.
good.
Yeah, it is. So then you can promote somebody else to leader if that's the person that's going to be buying. And for anybody else whose group is going to be buying that's watching, you need to have the money. Let me go in here again. Go into Squadron Bank. So you need to have the money for it in the all account. Because when I first did this, I don't know why this isn't working. So if I did this, so you can see I've got 3 different groups for the bank that I've set up. So everybody gets all. That's by default is in there. I had full members and officers. And then I had one person that donated money into the full members. So he made his billion donation in there. And I put in a bunch of money in here as well. And I tried to buy the carrier out of here. It didn't work. I had to move all the funds to the all group. And you can do a transfer between the groups here. I had to move all the money to the all group. And then it showed up as funds available to buy the carrier. So if you're going to be buying one for your group, make sure you keep that in mind as well. So it could be, it's probably likely, but it's not confirmed, that only the leader can buy a carrier and the money has to be in the all group, which actually doesn't make a whole lot of sense because by default, everybody has access to that group. So it's kind of weird that you would take 25 billion and put it in there to buy a carrier out of a group that literally every member, and we have 24 people listed here. It's a small group. You've got some groups that are hundreds of people, and by default, all of them have access to the all bank account, and that's the one they want you to use to spend 25 billion to buy a carrier. Really? So some things it seems to me were not totally thought through on this. Also, the all account looks like it lets you change its name, but it reverts back to all if you try changing its name. So something else to keep in mind. We'll see how many members we get by the end of the month. I've heard from a good number of people saying they want to stay in, but certainly not everybody. Some people have not responded, and if they don't respond by the end of the month, then they are out. Okay. See, this is why I'm doing this so freaking slow, because I'm having a conversation as well. Could be running twice as fast. So, DMMs. So,
Incoming message.
thank you. What was the message? What does it want to tell me? Oh, reputation change. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so if you're going to go there anyway, Narco, to answer your question, and you've got the fuel already in your ship, then by all means, I will happily accept the donation of fuel to the I always forget what the hell they're calling, the squadron carrier.
Ship released.
My guess is that 6,000, that's about what you're going to spend flying out. That's probably all that it will take to fly back, although potentially more, as it could weigh more, but I don't know. I mean, it'll be at least 6,000, let's put it that way, for it to fly back to the bubble. And I don't mind jumping it there. I just don't want to pay crazy prices for the fuel. I'd also, so the two things that I thought of for doing for group activities now that we're going to have the carrier. One of them is a group mining expeditions. That would be fun. And then the second one is like taking one of the members' colonization stations and then doing a group haulage
Psalms Van Enner says,
Until next
to help
time,
them
jump
build that
costs are
station
double, so
faster.
maybe tritium as well.
What do you mean jump costs are double? What? You mean the fee from the use of the ship is doubled? Is that what you're referring to? Like when you jump, it tells you that it's going to cost you this much at the end of the week thing? I didn't notice a tritium difference, but I didn't really pay attention too much either. So that would suck if the tritium is doubled. I mean, that'd be a huge difference. You'd go through it a lot faster. Then it'd be like 12,000 units to get back. Ew. Another reason for selling it up there and just buying it down here. Okay.
Fat says, group engineering collections, group shardaying, group colonization efforts, group ranking efforts.
Yeah. And I want to have some, not just like, let's all do stuff that puts money in the group piggy bank. I want to do some stuff where maybe we do an activity like the mining one that I thought of would be fun, where we do that, and then the person that mines the most and the person that gets like the second most, maybe they share a part of the money.
Group Titan Heart collections. Psalms Van Enner says,
Drive
Yeah.
charging.
maintenance is 200,000 instead of 100,000.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that does suck. I didn't realize that was the case. Yeah, I think. How about group Titan Drive component collection? Although that one we would have to do in a weird way because we would actually all want to be in solo instances, but in the same system where the carrier's at.
Fat says, yeah, that is what I meant.
Yep. That could work. The whole Titan Drive component thing, I don't know. People are having a lot of trouble with it.
Fat says, drive components.
I've never had too much trouble collecting those. But what I've noticed is that they don't show up. Whoa, I think I went past it. Yep, there it is. What I notice is they don't show up until some Thargoids show up in the system. And then the Titan drive components start showing up. So if you get to the Titan debris field and there are no live Thargoids flying around, then I think your odds of finding a drive component are pretty low. Unless they just left and you got there right after they left. But once some Thargoids do pop up, then usually within just a few minutes I'm able to find the Titan drive components. And I think I've got like 9 or 10 of them sitting there ready for drives to get built. And no, I'm not selling them. I'm going to use them all. But I think my longest one that took to get was the first one I tried to get, which took about an hour. But all the ones after that, I was able to get a lot faster. But imagine if we did an activity like that as a group and then basically collected enough of them for everybody to at least get one. So that every member of the group could have for sure one more additional drive. Including people that maybe only get on for, a few hours a week because they got actual kids and families. Unlike some of us that are on many hours a week. So, I don't know. I'm just...
That says, I find that there are 2 Titan graveyards that I have a high chance of getting drive components. The rest are lower chance.
Interesting. Yeah, so that's the kind of similar types of activities I used to do in EVE Online like 20 years ago. Yeah, I gotta fly around this planet because this thing really slowed me down last time. I had to go too close to it. Ugh.
Fat says, you are a big girl, doesn't take a lot to slow you down.
Doesn't take a lot to slow anything down with planetary gravity.
This carrier respects considerate pilots. Flight
Yeah, one of the other things that happened that has nothing to do with the game I'm not happy about is looks like one of the buttons is starting to fail on my joysticks. The boost button.
Access granted. Please proceed to your landing.
Which is really unfortunate because
You're clear for automated approach.
even if I get into boost like SCO boost and then I hit the button to slow it back down, it doesn't work about half the time.
Van Enner says, last time I looked for them, I found 3 of them at Kosijo and no aliens around.
Really
The
interesting.
previous 2 or 3 were stolen by an NPC pirate.
Landing gear.
What do you mean stolen by an NPC? You mean you got stopped when you were carrying him back? Or was the NPC looking for them at the graveyard site?
Fat says, Clipper is a wonderful ship, but she is attracted to speck of space dust and will slow down to look.
Commander. We are glad to have
Uh-huh.
you.
Psalms Van Enner says,
Maximum capacity.
Pirate was also at Kosijo.
Landing gear retracted.
Release confirmed.
What do you mean by part, dude? I'm still confused, dude. You mean an NPC was gathering them when you were gathering them as well, or do you mean somebody actually pulled your ship out of warp?
That Batman says, there are regular NPC-based pirates on Titan graveyards that will scan you and tell you to dump cargo just like at a ring.
Yeah, but you don't dump it. I mean, you could usually just kill them.
You have less than no fire zone.
I mean, you don't, like, if I'm going out there, I'm bringing a military ship, not a badass ship with no defenses. Because there's Thargoids that show up there too that you may need to fight. So looking for the drive components is a military activity. Oh, there's still a pirate activity sitting here. The pirate activity is a lot harder to do in a non-engineered
Psalms
ship,
Van
I
Enner
found.
says, was attacked by NPC pirate and was in an axe build so couldn't defend.
Oh.
Before I knew it hatch break me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, yeah, I should bring an X build out there. It's actually one of the things that a lot of people don't realize. If you want to do a little Thargoid combat just for old time's sake, you don't need to fly all the way out to the whatchamacallit area down south. You literally could just fly to a graveyard, and while you're waiting for some Thargoids to show up, just look for the Titan components. So you do both activities at once, then as soon as the Thargoids show up, go kill them.
Fat Fatafat says, Pleiades?
Yeah, exactly. Ladies sector. Earlies.
Psalms Van Enner says, was first ship that had an corrosive storage rack.
Zorgon Peterson, Golf Alpha Lima. Please approach the station at a safe speed and be mindful of other pilots in the area. Access granted. Set down on landing pad 10. Automated docking approved. You may now hand over control.
Coincidate, are you on the stream? So FYI, I mentioned this in the Discord, but I guess not everybody goes in there. I don't accept random friend requests because I have no idea who you are or why you're friending me. unless you go to Discord, contact me through there, say hi, I'm blah blah blah, I like your videos, whatever. Do an intro and then send me a friend request. So I'm gonna
Landing gear deployed.
say no to this dude, whoever that is. Because friend request is how they get into your private session, and then the last thing you want is some random pirate showing up in your private session and killing you when you're hauling expensive stuff.
Landing complete. Clear to disembark. Security forces are on the lookout for dissidents in this area, Commander. I would advise you don't provoke them.
Landing gear retracted.
Landing coupler disengaged. Watch for
Yeah, I
oncoming
don't think
traffic
it
on
updates
Basel
this
301.
unless you manually go in there. Let's find out. Yeah, it's updating it. Okay, so 5700. Yeah, and then 0 on the defense. Oh, and then did I mention this or not, guys? So this is random. Just so happens that this particular community goal is at the Liang-Ru station, and I'm pledged to Liang-Ru. And so I'm actually earning both merits every time I sell and trade dividends every time I sell. So I've got an additional 84 million so far from sales because I'm in Liang-Ru's faction here. And that's whose station this is. And if we were doing this in a Grom station, then my other accounts would be getting those merits. But this account is a Liang-Ru pledge. Where are you going, ship? See, I knew you were going to just back up. I knew you were going to do that.
Frameshift drive charging.
You have cleared the no-fire zone. Flight control signing off.
Three, two,
Psalms Van Enner says, "That's what you get with AI."
Alright. Where am I here? Characters. So what's everybody else doing right now? Y'all still doing the CG in the last day here or not? That took 3 taps to get that activated. And like 5 taps to turn it off. That sucks. I really need to get that serviced. First problem I've ever had with the joysticks. Hopefully the last as well.
Zero Boogie Zero says, same as you. Christopher Daffrin says, doing what you are doing. Getting some creds before the CG ends.
Mm-hmm.
Psalms Van Enner says, engineering a Corsair for bounty hunting.
Okay.
Tortoise 414 says, oh, I still need to hand in a bounty. CMDR Lord Narkowookie says, going to earn a bit more in the CG for newest alt.
Yep, makes sense.
Fat Fatafat says, I am just collecting bad paint job drops off you is about all I am doing.
Bad paint job. What the hell?
Stream Elements says, did you like this stream yet?
We welcome your business as a carrier, Commander. Please enjoy your stay with us.
Fat Fatafat says, Twitch drops give you paint jobs and the 2 that are being given right now are ugly.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Shit, I need to watch Twitch then. Where is my Twitch? Oh, here it is. So, I can get them for myself, right? Probably. Maybe. TwitchCon. Okay, that's not it. Position.
Fat Fatafat says, I would guess.
Access granted. Please follow standard
Where
docking
is it?
procedure, Commander. Docking request confirmed.
I'm not seeing any of those flames. Prime benefits, yes.
Landing gear deployed.
There's some screen that let you just see everything that you're grabbing, but I don't remember what that is.
CMDR Lord Narkowookie says, wondering if shared ships keep the original paint job they are donated with. Fat Fatafat says,
Well, that's a good question. My
ones
guess
right
is
now
no.
are bright purple paintwork for the
Please
ASP Explorer
disembark.
and the Python
Greetings, Commander.
MK1.
We are glad to have you.
Why don't I see those, damn it? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I could have sworn there used to be a link just to go to Twitch Gaming and you get all this stuff. I don't see it, dude. Where are you seeing it? Because now you got me thinking about free stuff that I'm not getting. I'm in Twitch, but I don't see where you're seeing drops at all. Is it? I don't see it. Okay, do I need to Google this? How do I find
Fat
Twitch
says,
drops?
you get the drops by watching for a length of time in a live stream.
Yeah, I know that, dude. Where's the screen that I used to be there to collect the stuff that, like, you watched enough, it'll show you progress, how much stuff. I can't get to that screen now for some
Songs
reason.
Van Enner says, Vanguard drops they're called.
How to earn drops. Claiming a drop. That's what the hell, man?
CMDR Lord Narkowookie says, what is the name of your squadron? Fat says,
Galt.
notifications the envelope.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing anything for elite in there. Nothing. It used to be, I remember seeing this, that you could see like for World of Warships, I know I've always done this, where you can see your progress from watching a stream. What the hell, man? They're stealing shit from me now. That's not it. That's not it. Gaming Amazon.
Psalms Van Enner says, right top corner click on your icon, and then drops and rewards.
Oh, there we go. Drops and rewards. All right. So I have 3% progress. How am I not watching myself? I'm totally watching myself. Something's goofed up here. Okay, well, I found it. Thank you. I appreciate you mentioning that. Though I don't understand how I've had this open the whole time and it's not counting as minutes. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to stream longer. just to get the stupid prize.
Psalms Van Enner says, you're welcome.
Yeah. The hell, man. It'd be nice if somebody mentioned stuff like this. I didn't even know there was a thing going on when I was streaming. I mean, I guess it's automatic, so there's nothing for me to turn on or off, which is good, but, you know.
Psalms Van Enner says, and thank for tip on drops, winky face.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity. Landing gear retracted.
Minerva.
Frameshift drive charged.
have left a no fire zone. This is flight control.
3, 2, 1.
I wish YouTube did stuff like this. Then I wouldn't have to bother with Twitch.
CMDR Lord Narcomonkey says, just sent a squadron application for your consideration.
See, I overflew this
Christopher Daffrin says,
because
I
of
wonder
the
if
button.
the next CG will be as lucrative as this current one.
I think this is the last lucrative one for a while, boys. I think the reason they made it so long, for a whole month, and such good profit at 10x,
Stream Elements
is
says,
because they knew
Thanks
that
for
people would be
subscribing, Laurent
complaining
Briga.
about the cost of the carrier if they didn't do that. But it's hard to complain that something's 25 billion after you've made 25 billion in just 1 month. Wow, there's quite a few streams doing Elite right now. Holy cow. On Twitch. I think on YouTube there's just a handful.
Fat Fat says,
Golf Alpha
Lord
Lima.
Narcomonkey was
Please
not
approach
already
the
in the
station
squad.
at safe speed and be
I feel
mindful
robbed.
of other pilots in the
Hmm.
area. Landing permitted. Adjust heading for approach to
Christopher
pass
Daffrin
40.
says, just as
You are
well.
clear for
I need
alternating
to get
approach,
my
Commander.
rewards to get back to my colony.
Or narco. Reject dark proof. Reject the proof. Reject the proof. Alright. Are these alphabetical now? I wonder what order puts them in here.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh, this is Lord Narkowski. This isn't Lord Narkowicki. It's Lord Narkowski.
Fat Fatafat says, geez, am I like the only person in the squad that has been active in the last week?
Security forces are on the lookout for
I mean, yes and no. There's a bunch of people that log on. Doesn't mean they do anything with anybody else, though.
Did you migrate existing squadrons?
Yeah, that's automatic. Yeah, they kept all the info that was there before and just moved it into the new format. Oh yeah, I was gonna check on the mission board. Get that updated. So 8,000 so far.
Fat Fatafat says, I got the announcement you added the Wookiee LOL.
You did? Okay.
Landing gear retracted.
Landing coupler disengaged. Watch for oncoming traffic when passing through the airlock.
Clearing a flight path for departure.
You know, something I should probably ask people. So, if those of you that are on the stream right now do this, in your squadron details, go to roster. So, in your
CMDR
Status?
Wookiee says,
can you all do me a favor
I had to
and
join
put
after the
the
application was approved as final step.
can you put your Discord name in here? I don't care if it's the same or different, but I know for some people it's definitely different. And I can't keep track of what a person that I see in Discord, what their account they've got in the squad is, because they're not always the same. So this way, if I just go through and I click on a person, I click their status, I'll be able to see what your Discord name
Fat
is as well.
Fatafat says, is that squad game chat new too?
It's kinda. I mean, you could do that right now anyway. You just go to hit 2, go into squad, that system. You can, I shouldn't have done that. It's gonna take forever. And somebody's shooting already. Okay, let's do this first. Jump over there. Okay, so what I meant to do is hit 2, go in here, go in there. Yeah, if you're in local, you can hit tab to
Beastie
go into
says,
squad chat.
Good morning, CMDRs.
There you go. So that went out to the squad only.
Psalms Van Inner says,
You have cleared the
Morning.
no-fire zone.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Let me. Somebody's asking about the link for Discord. Let me see. There we go.
Charging.
And then all we gotta do is go into here or Twitch. I guess doesn't matter. Where am I here? Oh, it's right there. Okay. So if I go to where's Twitch chat? What the hell? And I do an exclamation Discord.
Atlas Rand Gaming says, Discord.
There's the link.
Stream Elements says, link.
Yeah. Copy link. And then gonna do 10 things at once here. Carriers. And there it is. That's, yeah. I gotta get this button fixed. Okay, and then somebody asked to squadrons.
Fat Fatafat
Come here.
says, the edit officer notes is not accessible by all.
It's not. Yeah. Okay, I'll take a look and see. I'll turn that on. It should be. Because I'd rather have people putting in their own notes in there than... Because I'm not going to have notes about people in there. That's dumb. Alright, so that's the link to Discord. Let's try this again. Might be cutting a little close. Nope, should be okay. Okay, so that's not a note about yourself by default, but I think I can set the setting for it so it will be.
Fat Fatafat says, it makes sense for the game to have both a personal written profile and officer notes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because I guess I can go into somebody else and then do a... But see, it says edit status. Okay, so it's not notes, it's status. So that maybe that's the difference, right? So if you go to here under stats, or sorry, status, you can't type your own stuff in here? Is this just something I would type in? Really? I'm gonna set your status to dad jokes. There we
Fat
go.
Fatafat says, oh, that I can do.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like in there, in that place, put your Discord name that you use, which ideally is exactly the same as what your commander name is, but I know it's not always the same for people. So that way I have an easy way right in game to know, like, if I need to talk to this person, that's who I reach out to in Discord. And then, of course, everybody's YouTube name or Twitch name is different as well. So then I gotta remember that Top Hat isn't actually called Top Hat in this game. And such.
Greetings, Commander. Please be mindful of other ships around this carrier. Clearance denied. Docking request denied. Our carrier uses 7.5-kilometer range for docking requests. Clearance granted. Move directly to your allocated path. You're clear for automated approach. Please sit back and relax, Commander.
Landing gear deployed.
Contact confirmed. Hangar crew is ready. Welcome to a carrier, Commander.
All right, what am I doing? Stuff.
Fat Fatafat says, bummer shift enter does not work.
Cargo hold at maximum maximum capacity. Landing gear retracted.
Release confirmed. You are clear to leave.
Fat Fatafat says, okay, it is updated, see if it is good.
All right. Let's see. I'm answering people's comments in the last video here. Sorry. Would you say? Okay, it's updated. See if it's what's updated. Oh, you mean your you put the link in? All right, let me look. Let me get this going first. My jumps are taking twice as long as they would be if I wasn't streaming. Alright. Get going.
Frameshift drive charging.
It still says what I put in there. Dad jokes. What'd you update?
Fat Fatafat says, it would appear as if that status is meant for more of a voicemail / vacation note current long-term status.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it's for. But, you know, you can put anything in there, from what I can tell.
Frameshift drive charging.
Airlock 5 Alpha armed and cross-checked, clear to search.
Speed restrictions have been lifted.
3, 2, 1.
This is hilarious.
Psalms
But-
Van Enner says, I would make less loops of shame if I wasn't watching, winky face.
Well, I would
Fat
definitely
Fatafat says,
do it.
you cannot see my names as I have posted.
So, I'm looking at the Minerva stats here. And, get rid of that. Turn that on. And it's a Li Yongrui system, obviously. The reinforcement on it currently is 25.5 million. That's a hell of a reinforcement. Whereas the undermining is 307,000. Which, like, 500,000 used to be considered pretty good for reinforcement. This thing has 25 million. So it is 2,638% reinforced. Which makes a lot of sense. Oh, God damn it, I missed it again. Alright, let's start the loop. I almost should just put it on the slow speed and just let it fly there in autopilot, not even try and save a couple of minutes here and there, because I end up wasting him by doing this stupid loop anyway. Yoink.
Zorgon Peterson, Golf Alpha Lima. We've prepared a landing pad for your arrival, Commander. Welcome to our station.
do its thing here by itself.
You are clear for automated approach, Commander.
Can you figure out how to do that by yourself, computer? Or do you need me to manually do it?
Zero Boogie Zero says, meh, these new young gankers have a lot to learn. They need to leave the old school alone. They will live longer, lol.
Hmm. Alright, so when I sell this stuff,
Fat says,
Landing successful.
okay, while you are
Docking
banking, you need to go
restraints
test
engaged.
SRV now, see
Security
if it is
forces
still
are on the
lagging me
lookout
out.
for dissidents in this area, Commander. I would advise you
so
don't
I'm
provoke
going to sell this like I'm always selling it. Now watch on the right side there. And I didn't see it. What the hell, man? I should be getting merits for every sale. I didn't see them pop up. Why would I not see them popping up? Oh, interesting. Ah, okay. So we can do a test. I think the merits didn't pop up because I'm buying from a carrier rather than a station. So, let me check in here. Power contact. So, so 1,012,000 merits total it's showing. Okay, let me try buying from the station and see if that generates merits, because that might be something interesting to know and to keep in mind, that if you buy goods from a carrier, you may not be getting merits.
Landing gear retracted.
Anybody else notice that at all?
to leave.
So depending on whether you want to make money or merits, that may affect your decision. I know that's definitely the case for the rare goods. Where are you going, ship? Come on. Quit acting like an idiot here. Just leave the station. Oh, it wants to let somebody pass. God damn it. That's not helping me time-wise, ship. So for rare goods, if you buy them from a carrier, you do not get merits for sure. But I think that's even happening here.
Fat says, I don't power play so.
Yeah. So you wouldn't have even noticed anything. Okay, interesting. So if I go to...
Songs Van Inner says, no merit with sale from carrier. Same with rare goods.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing.
Bill Mankin says, 07 Atlas, I've been doing a bunch of testing. I think if you put items on a carrier it dies not generate merits. Also sales of goods for this CG, smaller quantities definitely do give more merits /ton.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. They used to work just fine from carriers back in the day. But more recently when I've sold rare goods, because I just had a shit ton of rare goods piled up. And when I sold them last week, I noticed I didn't get any merits at all for them. Which, I mean, I was mostly doing it to clear off the space from the carrier anyway, but would have been nice to get some merits for them. But 9 months ago, I was definitely getting merits from stuff that I was keeping on the carrier. So... Gotta go here. Oh no, this time we're just doing the station. That's right, because I want to test. So we're gonna go to here. And I guess I could just start slowing down. Because if I don't start slowing down right now, I'm just gonna miss the damn thing and have to loop back anyway. It seems to happen pretty consistently. Oh yeah, let me check my my Twitch thing. If I got my paints yet. Claim, yes, damn it, claim it. Oh, it's for an Asp Explorer. That's kind of crappy. Don't really fly that ship much. Hey, I thought you said it was yellow. It's like pink. So the page I was looking for that I couldn't find is just twitch.tv/drops.
Fat Fatafat says,
That's what I was looking for.
I said it was purple pink.
Oh, okay. Have you stuck it on your ship, or I guess you don't get it yet, do you? Any other games they're doing decent stuff for right now for Twitch? I'm looking through here. I don't think I play most of these games. Oh, there's one
Fat
for World of
Fatafat
Warships.
says, I claimed both, but I sold all those ships.
Yeah. And what's the other one? Just for the old school Python? And that one's also purple?
Zorgon Peterson, Golf,
How the hell did
Alpha,
my
Lima.
button break on
Submit a
this
docking
stupid thing?
request before attempting to land at this federal station.
Fat Fatafat says, ASP was replaced by the Mandalay, and the Python MK1 was replaced by the Corsair.
Mm-hmm. Yep, true.
Fat Fatafat says, yeah, they are both purple pink
Authorization
colored.
cleared. You are go for approach to pad 2-4. Assisted docking initiated.
Yeah, I want them to do more skins like the snake ones they did. I love those skins. The snake ones are great. The skull ones are good. The onion head ones were good. Like skins that are, you know, they have an actual image on them they slap on the ship, not just a bunch of stripy colors. I don't know why they don't do more of those, because I think more people would buy them. I know I would.
Stream Elements says, thank you for following Zero Boogie Zero. Sukaman says, 07 Atlas. How's it going?
07s.
Stream Elements says,
Oh, it's going.
thanks
We're
for
running
subscribing CSS Command.
running materials for the end of the CG in the last day here. Trying to get a little more money. Didn't realize the fleet carrier was going to be 25 million, so it pretty much cleaned me out. So I need to start making more money. That's
Contact. Deploying ground crew.
these titanium.
Fat Fatafat says, I want to find the man who decided the Panther would look good with a rugby strip paint look and give him a super wedgie.
Yeah, honestly I think the solid black and the pink are the two best looking paints for it right now.
Depart when ready, Commander.
The yellow bumblebee looking one isn't too bad, but it's not great.
What do you know about Vanguards?
I have a video that I did earlier today just going through the new carrier, and I mean we've been talking about Vanguards all stream so far. Is there a specific question you have? All right. And we are flying back to Minerva. Gotta get this button fixed. Wow, this might get me to actually use the other throttle. Just sitting there collecting dust.
Frameshift drive charging.
Huh.
Bill Mankin says, I just wish the seat was higher on the seat. Feels like I'm driving an old Lincoln or Caddy. Sukaman
seat.
says, not at the moment. I'll check out said video since I just got here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I walk around the carrier and stuff in the video. But yeah, if you have any questions, just leave them here or in the comments in the video. And I shoot the video like right away as soon as stuff comes out. There's already people in there. Oh, well, how'd you not know this? I can't believe you're such a dumbass for not knowing this. Like, well, because nobody knew that shit, or the people that didn't post about it. That's how. Alright, so, wait. Inventory, okay. So, yeah. So, I'm going to the station. There we go. So we're gonna go about another hour or so, because that's how long I need to do to get my paint from my own channel.
I forget which one it was. It might have been Disney World. It had like the...
Hey guys, I'm gonna post a link. I would love it if you would go to that link
Atlas
and then
Rand says, test link.
yeah, okay, the word test shouldn't be there. Let me repost it. There we go. And did that repost or not? Let's see it. Hello. Let's try it again. There we go.
Atlas Rand says, link.
Oh, now I did it twice. God damn it. What the hell, man? It's just not making it easy for me. Okay. Whatever. Anyway, what I posted is the link to the Kick for this channel. So anyone who's on Kick, can you do me a favor and actually like sub to the channel if you already have a Kick account? If you don't have a Kick account, just go to that link and pop open that channel so it looks like there's more people watching. I need to figure out how the hell to actually get some traction on Kick, because I truly think that Kick is going to replace Twitch with all the problems Twitch is having right now with creators. I think Kick is very likely to become the winner in that. And I would, I'm already streaming on there, but I want to start actually trying to build up more of an audience on Kick. So anyone that can help with that, I'd appreciate it. Either by reviewing it or by subscribing or anything else you can do. would be awesome. I don't even know if I'm allowed to post. Twitch has weird rules. I may not be allowed to post a kick link on Twitch, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because they technically are competitors. Twitch has weird rules. I may not be able to post a kick link. Did that kick link come across on YouTube or not? I'm trying to see if it did. If not, I'll repost it on there too.
Landing gear deployed.
And then Rumble, I don't think anyone watches Rumble. I'm not as concerned about Rumble. I'm just streaming on there because why not?
Link.
Might as well. But Kick, I think, is growing like crazy right now.
Contact. Command system shut down. The security forces are on the lookout for dissidents in this area, Commander. I would advise you don't provoke them.
Okay, so now we're bringing stuff that I bought from a station and not a carrier. So this should generate merits. So, yep, 837 merits for that. And that's with their negative 35% because it's a defensive maneuver instead of offensive. But yeah, so getting merits, and like I said, the other thing I'm getting here is actually a bonus to my, where is it? I guess I can collect it here in here in bonds. Yeah, the Li Yongrui bond bonus for doing all these sales. I've made 129 million now off of additional funds for selling here. So let me redeem that. So I've got it in the account.
How do I get past Mauve Adder? I can't play online, not even solo play.
You just keep getting the adder? Really? Usually that's an indicator of like a networking issue. The Mauve Adder. So, could your firewall be blocking the game? Are you using a hardware firewall or Windows firewall? I would look at those first and see if the game's being blocked. Make sure that in Windows that the game is allowed to access the internet.
Ship restraints withdrawn.
If it's not, you're not going to be able to play.
Did you update?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. If this just started, make sure you grab the update that came out today. So if you haven't upgraded, that's probably what it is.
Fat says, OMG, I love that my carrier shows up even with carrier filtered off.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? I think that's one of their best changes
I
that they
never
made.
block said game. Stream Elements says,
Yeah, if it used to
thanks
work.
for subscribing Moon IE. Stream Elements says, thanks for subscribing Alex Collins.
Thanks for the subs, guys. Yeah, I think if it's
Fat
always
Fat
worked and
says,
it just stopped
I
working,
will
then,
miss Dev
you know.
Breath.
Yeah, it's a very simple tweak that just makes a lot of sense. You basically put it on stations only, and your carrier still shows up. Now, if they did that with all the carriers in your group, that'd be even better. Because as somebody that has multiple accounts and multiple carriers that are all mine, it'd be awesome if I could see all of my account carriers that are all members of the same squad in that same yellow color. That would be cool.
Psalms Van Enner says, check if Windows sees your network as private instead of public. Christopher Daffrin says, be sure to log out and log back in.
What they said right there.
Well, you CNA turn on settlements and turn carriers off, that is like gold.
Yep. Now I have to look at all those huge long lists of carriers. Exactly. That should have been done from the get-go, right from the start. Hey, Top Hat, how
Moon
much?
IE says, hello.
Hey, how much stuff did you have in your carrier? Because I feel like I've been hauling materials a lot, and your carrier is still nowhere near empty.
Fat Fatafat says, 17,000 tons.
17? Okay. I think I did like 8,000 so far or something. I think this is probably going to be the wrong amount, but... Yeah, 10,000 I did. Okay. But I did a couple loads that were not from your carrier, so probably more like 8,000.
This is Flight Control. Access to this carrier must be authorized in advance. Permission granted. Please approach your designated landing pad in good time. Docking request confirmed. Assisted approach is underway.
Landing gear deployed.
Fat Fatafat says, too bad we are both in solo, and you cannot see the glorious sight that is my federal Corvette.
Almost
Oh, I
landing.
can switch if you want, but I
All
don't
services
know that
are
it would do
available
much.
for use, Commander.
Are you back at your carrier? Is that what you're saying? How do you still have 12,000 here? Jesus.
Fat Fatafat says, not important.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Uh,
Landing gear retracted.
Release confirmed. Please watch for traffic during
let
departure.
me check in Nara for where we are with the goals breakdowns. Okay. Looks like top 75% is still just 4,300. That's lower than I expected. I thought it'd be at about 7,000 or 8,000. It's still at 4,300 for top 75. That's good. Oops.
Zero Boogie Zero says, Open has been fun, avoiding the gankers. Standards have slipped it seems.
You're
Stream
doing the
Element
open
says,
thing, okay.
Thanks for subscribing, Jimmy Thetwo. Bill Mankin says, bottom brackets haven't really moved. Top is astronomical.
Yeah, top is like some insane thing. I think top is basically one guy unloading non-stop from carriers that are coming fully loaded for him to unload. Yeah, there we go. Wrong thing. Wait, where am I going? Starless Station, that's where I'm going. Going to the wrong freaking thing. Yeah, this is what happens when I start getting kind of zoned out of a repetitive task. Start making mistakes like going to the wrong station. Yeah.
Fat says, that is why I watch movies when I am trucking.
Yeah, and sometimes it's when the truck runs off the road.
Zorgon Peterson, Golf Alpha Lima. Please approach the station at a safe speed and be mindful of other pilots in the area.
Oh, all kinds of battles going on here. As I'm not paying attention.
You're on course, Commander. Ground crew on standby. Landing permitted. Cleared for landing on docking bay 3-2. You are clear for automated approach, Commander.
Landing gear deployed.
Touchdown confirmed. Docking restraints engaged. The security forces are on the lookout for dissidents in this area, Commander. I would advise you don't provoke them.
Okay. Hello. There we go. That took a long time to sell. This is
Bill
weird.
Mankin says, so where are your enhanced racks going? Mine are probably going on my T8.
Yep, Type 8. I think that makes the most sense for everybody. This adds such a small percentage to the Panther that it really not going to really be noticeable. In fact, on my Panther, I probably could have just said it instead of making the ship dock, but I'll show you guys. This is, on this account, a 100% unengineered Panther that I'm hauling this stuff on. The only difference it has with the way that it comes when you buy it, pre-sale or whatever, is I added a size 4 Guardian frameshift booster, so that gives me an additional 9.5 light years, which I don't really need when it's empty, but when it's full, that makes a huge difference because the jump range of the Panther, when it's full, drops down and fully unengineered. Like the SCO has no engineering on it, and the reason is because this is the purchase ship that's meant to be sold again and then purchased when I get back to Colonia. So it's kind of a temporary ship. But with the Guardian frameshift booster, it has a decent range, even fully unengineered, which is nice. Anyway, I sold this stuff, right? I don't have anything in here. Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's go into here real quick. See how much I've done. 11,375. How much have you guys done? Type in how much you've sold in terms of materials for this community goal to Starlace.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship released. You are clear to leave.
Zero Boogie Zero says, 17,680. Bill Mankin says, 113 KT.
Holy shit. Wow, 17K. That's quite a bit, man. 113,000 tons as well. Wow, that's even more impressive.
Tortoise 414 says, I think around 12,000.
Yeah, I think on all my other accounts I did around 10 because I just wanted to make sure I was in the top 75. I wasn't pushing.
Tortoise 414 says, not heaps. Psalms Van Enner says, 42K sold 45K mounted. Fat Habitat says, 11,000
All clear.
19,000.
Flight control signing off.
So 113,000. Bill definitely has the most so far then
Thomas says,
of people watching.
I'm up to about 70 or 80K so far, probably do 10K more and call it good.
Yeah, I mean that's Pretty good. So 20,000 is about a billion, right? Is my math correct on that, guys? 20 trips, so roughly 20,000 per billion. So if you did 113,000, that's what you got. It's almost 6 billion.
Psalms Van Inner says, both top 25. Fat Fatafat says, it is now, but it was not the first 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Mankin says, about 5 billion.
Yep. Pretty good. That's a carrier. From 1 month of hauling stuff.
Fat Fatafat says, I hauled to put 3 bills on my second account.
Yep. Yeah, it's impressive. I think my money making still predominantly was killing Thargoids. I did a lot of that with Narco Wookie. And I mean, we were out there every week killing Thargoids, probably about 4 or 5 hours a day. Not every day, like 1 day a week, basically. But, you know, that generated usually $1 billion for that time. So you get up to, that's how you get to 25 billion by killing Thargoids. But, you know, this is definitely less action-packed in case, I would even say a little bit sleepy. I'm starting to get a little tired. But, yeah, if you're doing something else, you're watching a Netflix movie or something else while you're doing this, I could see doing this all day long. It's just free money nonstop. And I don't think we're going to get another 10x multiplier event, guys, for probably a year. I don't think this is the last one they're going to do by any means. But I'd be surprised if they do another hauling event like this. For sure they won't do one this year, but I don't think they'll do one probably for a good chunk of next year either. Now, what they might do is a mining event that has a 10x multiplier, where only material that you mined counts when they release the new mining ship. I could totally see them doing something like that.
Says, I think Type 11 will have something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, but that's a little different though, because that's going to be whoa. Yeah, a little too. Whoa, is that going to stop me? Really? 'Cause I thought that was too quick. 17 kilometers. That's a pretty view though. Huh.
Victorious says, hey Atlas.
Hey Niv.
Bill Mankin says, I expect they will try to do stuff more related to Vanguards. At least hope they do.
I don't think they're going to do hauling stuff related to Vanguard, so I really don't. Could be wrong, but I don't think they will. What are you up to, Nestorius?
Bill Mankin says, team stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely planning on doing more team activities for sure. Gotta get these guys making enough money to give me some money for the carrier, so it's not all sitting on me.
Please proceed to your landing pad, Commander.
All right, let's get her docked.
Docking
Victorious
request
says,
confirmed. Assisted
I didn't
approach is
realize
underway.
the update was today. How is
Yeah. Good. I bought the carrier in Colonia because it wouldn't sell it to me locally here. And that was a mistake, so don't buy it in Colonia. There's no tritium in Colonia to bring it back. But, yeah, they're down. I mean, the changes are good. I like what they've done with the community wallet. That makes it much more usable now to be
Fat says,
moving money.
I am pretty sure most of Galt is self-created rich.
Well, yeah, I would expect that, but you know. I don't know, Narco Wookiee's probably the richest guy that I know personally. Because he doesn't really spend money that much, so he's saying a whole bunch of it.
Contact confirmed. Clear to disembark.
Alright.
Welcome to a carrier, Commander.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Go hold at maximum capacity.
Landing gear retracted.
Release confirmed. Please watch for traffic during departure.
Fat Fatafat says, I don't have 10 billion, but both my accounts are sitting happy with 2 billion plus each.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm down to...
Victoria says, any new faction stuff?
What do you mean? I'm not sure what you're asking. Because the whole update obviously is brand new, so it's all new stuff. If you mean factions like the power play stuff, then not really.
Frameshift drive charging.
But the new carrier is pretty cool. I've got a video if you want to watch my short, it's genuinely short video on the new carrier. I put that out earlier today.
Fat Fatafat says, if you are bored trucking at last turn on the local chat, and it is like a Jerry Springer show.
Yeah, I usually have local chat in a separate location for that specific
Songs
reason.
Van Enner says, okay, I'm off 6 a.m. here. Nuftorius says,
All right, man.
like
Have a good
combined
one.
with Squadens.
Combined with squadrons. Well, the squadrons can be, you know, you can select the group that you're working for or with or whatever. I don't know. I'm not good at explaining this shit right now. It's been a long day.
Bill Mankin says, did anyone notice there was a drop for earned ARX from trading? Look to me like I am getting a lot less.
Really? I know there's always been a cap on the ARX that I hit every week, so I haven't really paid attention to what the rate is because I'm always hitting the cap no matter what.
Fat Fatafat says, cap is 400.
It's really easy to hit. I mean, you usually hit it within a day or two. And I spend way more on arcs than I ever earn arcs.
Psalms Van Enner says, same here.
And they never have sales on paint until after I already bought that color. Like all the golds, all the blacks, all that stuff. They've had sales for it. It's always been like months after I've already bought them.
Other pilots in the area.
Yeah, I used to get capped every week during this CG, but now only seeing 30 to 40 arcs for a
Access
1-hour
granted.
session.
Cleared for landing on docking bay 3-2.
Scan detected.
I thought it was just based on time. I didn't think you needed to do a whole lot. Just be in the game.
Fat says, I would spend a lot more arcs if someone in Dev had some idea of
Automated
color.
docking approved.
Yeah,
They now
exactly.
hand over control.
They don't have enough good looking paints. Like I said, I want paints that actually look like things, not just stripes.
Stream Element says, did you like this stream yet? Fat says, I like the neon paint jobs, but I want them to have theme as well.
Mm-hmm.
Atlas Rand Gaming says, Discord. Stream Element says, link.
Yeah, I'm gonna encourage anybody that's not in Discord that's watching, jump in our Discord as well. Some good useful info in there, and
Landing successful. Docking
plenty of
restored.
chat when I'm not streaming.
Security forces are on the lookout for dissidents in this area, Commander. I would advise you don't...
Although I've been told the Discord is more like a Facebook group by somebody. We shall go nameless. All right. Hey, Tophead, do you want me to empty your carrier or not?
Fat says,
Gear retracted.
I think I properly replayed to your Discord request, but sure.
You are clear to leave.
Fat says, yeah.
Okay.
Fat says, it is still there for you.
You don't want to do like some more on your own account? Because I think at this point I have more off your carrier that's been dropped off than you have. I've got to be at like 12,000 in there now. I mean, I'll haul it, but just I don't want to feel like I'm taking stuff you could be turning in yourself.
Fat says, I am top 25% on
Frameshift
both my
drive
accounts.
charging.
You are? I didn't think you were.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
So top 25% is 30,000. You've done over 30,000 on both accounts?
Fat says, yes.
Well, up above you said you did 17,000 tons in one of the accounts. Or no, never mind. That's a different reply. Yeah, okay.
Fat says,
11,000 on this
sorry,
account,
top
19 on the
50%,
second.
not 25.
Yeah, you said you did 11,000 on one account and 19 on the other one. So neither one is 30.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, top 50. Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely in the top 50, but you're not in the top 25.
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's interesting. This actually tells me how many squad members. In Ara, it tells you how many squad members are in the system you're in. So in Minerva, it says there's 2 squad members.
Fat Fatafat says, they were top 25% when I stopped calling.
Yeah, that makes sense.
CMDR Lord Narkawookie says, I have this new commander in top 25%.
Okay. So you've done over 30K. And Arco, I'm glad you applied here because you know, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's
CMDR Lord Narkawookie says
44,000. Yeah,
and counting.
yeah. There's a 10 billion credit fee for the squad now. So you know, but you got plenty of time. You got until next Tuesday to drop that off for your Lord Narkawookie account. But you know, glad to have you aboard and everything. Yeah, it really is too bad I didn't get the carrier in the bubble. Otherwise, we could have been screwing around on the carrier right now instead of just hauling stuff.
Bill Mankin says, LOL. CMDR Lord Narkawookie says, aw geez, I'm a little light on this commander.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got plenty of time. You can make some extra money. Ah, damn it, I missed it. I'm really kind of surprised they haven't reintroduced the Thargoids at some point here, because I really thought this year, later in the year, we'd see the Thargoids again. We'd have our ground missions or not ground, but our, you know, planetary Thargoid missions like we used to like to do, and get back to making some real money. Not that this isn't good money, this is, but this is just kind of repetitive work. And the a good day of killing Thargoids is like about $1 billion. Hey, Noof, you still in here or not? He probably is gone. So he joined me in Battlefield 6 for a little bit. Did much better than me, which I guess I'm not too surprised by. He's younger than me. But I had fun.
I've been doing the loop of shame a little too much tonight. Think it's almost bedtime.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well. In as much as I like to make a little money while it's still available, there's a point of diminishing returns where you spend more time looping around.
Narkawookie says, I reckon 2026 will see a return of the Thargoids.
Yeah, I hope so, man.
Victorious says, I'm here.
Oh, you are? Okay, cool. Yeah, so I was just saying that, you know, you jumped in, did a little bit of... Oh, let me try this again. Did a little bit of Battlefield with me. That was fun. I did get a little better eventually by the end of the second weekend. I was getting to the point where I was at least even in my kills and deaths. So I was getting, you know, 10 of each instead of getting like 2 kills and 10 deaths like I was for a while there. I think part of it had to do with just switching the way I used the guns. Part of it is just more finger memory. And part of it was playing 70 hours of Battlefield over the course of 2 weekends.
Landing gear deployed.
Nooftorius says, I'm so bad at FPS now. Fat Fatafat says, you are never getting back to colonization, are you?
Yeah, no, I've got
LOL.
6 systems I need to build out for colonization. I'm totally getting back to it. That's the whole point of, you know, having a ship that has large capacity like the group carrier, is to be able to finish those systems up. The battlefield doesn't drop until mid-October. So I've got until mid-October to do colonization stuff. But when Battlefield drops, I'm definitely going to play that.
Confirmed. Clamps engaged. Our services are available.
This is the
for
first
use, Commander.
Battlefield in probably 12, 13 years that I like. So the last one was Bad Company.
I'm still looking forward to BF6 though.
Oh, yeah. I know I'm going to be frustrated. I know that there'd be people that are getting crazy high scores compared to me. But I still enjoyed it while we played this test period. I was a little disappointed that there's definitely people that were using hacks and bots, that those were not fully prevented, even on a beta like this. Hopefully they'll be getting better over time, where they'll be blocking more of those. But
Bill Mankin says,
what can you do?
Vogon constructor fleet en route to finish Atlas's systems.
Oh yeah, exactly. That, well, I'll take it, man. I know Top had built a bunch of stuff for me, including a full system while I was on vacation. And so the station's actually named after him in there. Yeah, on one of the systems, I've got a bunch of people whose names are going to be used throughout the construction that all contributed to building a T3, where I think I probably did about 20% of the work, and then 80% was done by other people. And so all the people that helped with that construction are getting their own stations or installations named after them once I actually get back to that system and start construction. So I've got a lot of stuff to do. I think, frankly, the rest of the year, I don't need to colonize any new systems because I've got enough old systems to finish up. And I know when I'm looking at my Raven Colonial website and I see all those systems that are not finished, I'm like, yeah. All right, what am I doing here? I'm buying stuff, right? Yeah. Dude, I'm not going to buy
Nooftorius
everything.
says, yeah, unfortunately living with hackers is just part of PC gaming these
And
days.
yeah, unfortunately. I'll probably drop this down to about 5K, but I think I'm going to be done after about 3 or 4 runs. So you're still going to have some CMM, which, frankly, you're more than welcome to drop off at one of my construction sites too.
Authorized.
CMM is useful for everything. All right, and back to Minerva.
Fat Fatafat says, no worries, I can always find a place for CM.
Yeah, that's
Fat
not a hard
Fatafat
thing to
says,
get rid of.
CMM.
And I might have to take apart my joystick and vacuum it. See if that'll help.
Frameshift drive charging.
This is annoying having that turbo button not working.
Fat Fatafat says, you are gonna freak when you start grabbing commodities from my Hux solar system.
Yeah, Why is that? Because you got everything?
Fat Fatafat says, nearly.
And I'm doing the loop again. God damn it. We're ready.
Fat Fatafat says, okay, I need coffee BRB.
Do you sell that in the station?
Alpha Lima. We look forward to receiving you at this station, Commander. Please follow docking procedures and enjoy your visit. Request
They definitely should have
just
coffee in the
heading
game.
for approach to pad 10. You are clear for automated approach, Commander.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing complete. Commence system shutdown. The security forces are on the lookout for dissidents in this area, Commander.
13,000 so far. Well, there's plenty. Gosh, I wish I would have jotted down how much I made.
Landing gear retracted.
Detach confirmed. You are clear to leave.
Alright, so according to Inara, hauling this material, I'm making 250,000 credits per hour. So a billion every 4 hours. Is that right? Yeah, that's probably right.
Frameshift drive charging.
Speed restrictions are now lifted. Until next time, Commander.
Hey, by the way, Bill, thanks for doing the kick sub. Stupid planet.
We welcome your business as a carrier, Commander. Please enjoy your stay with us. Access granted. Please follow standard docking procedure, Commander. You're clear for automated approach. Please sit back and relax, Commander.
Landing gear deployed. Landing gear retracted. Landing gear retracted.
Landing successful. Clamps engaged. Welcome, Commander.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity. Landing gear retracted.
You know, when they don't have community goals for a while, I start to kind of get a little frustrated that they're not doing them. When they have them continuously like this, a little frustrated how much time you got to spend to do them.
Frameshift drive charging.
You have less of those fire zones. Good luck and safety, Commander.
3, 2, 1.
Fat Fatafat says, I have always felt Dev lacks in good planning, leadership, and scheduling. They have gotten better though.
Yeah, what am I doing? Yeah, I'm definitely starting to feel it. So probably like one more run and I'll be done, guys.
Fatafat says, I was waiting for a bit of time to pass before I decided on my next colonization efforts to see how the markets would react, so it has been a week. Good time to go
Sergeant
reevaluate.
Peterson, Golf Alpha Lima.
Yep.
Approach the station at a safe speed and be mindful of other pilots in the area. Permission authorized. Cleared for landing on
Alright,
docking bay
I need to
10.
change this setting.
You are clear for automated approach, Commander.
Controls, ship controls. Trust. Oh. So let's try and do this. So I'm going to get rid of silent running, which I rarely use, and put in engine boost, and then silent running we're going to put on here for now until I get the joystick repaired. Yeah, this is the first button issue I've ever had with VKB. And I've used these sticks for 5 years, maybe longer, at least 5 years. I've never had a button either go out or do what this one's doing, which is kind of intermittently working before. So I put a ticket in. Hopefully there's a way to get this fixed by them just shipping me a part that I can put in myself rather than having to send a stick in or get a whole new stick.
Fatafat says, I need to make an app that plays personal playlists when Twitch pushes advertisements.
You know, I never get ads on Twitch. I don't know what those even look like. So, how long do they last? How long do the ads last? I've heard people talking about them, but I've never seen one.
Fatafat says, 11 ads for about 2.5 minutes.
Holy shit. That'd be annoying as... You know what? Yeah, I don't know why I don't see them. Either it's because I've got the Amazon Prime thing.
Fatafat says, it is.
Yeah. Or maybe a browser extension or something, but I've never seen an ad on Twitch. Thankfully. Don't see him on YouTube either, but I pay for that. And then they jacked up the price again. I think it's up to like 16 bucks now a month. When it started, it was $9. Now I have YouTube ads. It's just been going up ever since.
Amazon Prime connected to your Twitch account stops ads on PC, but does
Yeah,
not seem to stop
there you
on
go.
Twitch. CMPR Lord Document says, I usually only get 2 at a time, but not seen any for a while.
Huh. That's kind of neat. You guys seen this before? It looks like they've expanded the info that you see in the leftmost panel. You got your navigation, and to the left of that, this little thing. Now they're showing active conflicts and the number of days. I don't recall seeing that before. That's cool. Now I just gotta remember to reconfigure my brain for what button does what.
Get YouTube Premium with the family plan. It's like $23 and split it with 5 or 6 people.
Mm-hmm. So when you do that, can all those 5 or 6 people have different emails that are unrelated then? Because then you just sort of split it with your friends, not just family people. Because I always assumed it was all just for like one family account or whatever. Okay, last flight, guys. I'm getting tired.
Frameshift drive charging.
Thomas says, yeah, you send them a link. You can't see anything on the accounts of others. All mine is family.
Hmm. So you send them a link that they use then to connect their YouTube account to be part of the family that doesn't see the ads. Is that right? I don't overshot it. Let's see. Nope, it did not overshoot. Good. I'm going to change this again.
Fat says, have a horrible suspicion to get insulated membrane in my system. I will have to build a second Orbis at 12 Tier 3 construction point, and I would rather have a ground Tier 3 port.
Yeah, I've never built a ground Tier 3. In fact, the only person that I've seen do that is Noof. I remember he was really struggling and not super happy building it, but he got it built. That, and then of course Meccan had like 7 or 8 of those. Stupid planet.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing successful. Clamps engaged. Greetings, Commander. We are glad to have you.
Automod says, held a message for using channel blocked terms. Allow will post it to chat.
Let's see what it held. So it's probably a Twitch ad, is my guess. Twitch.
Fat says, thanks Lord, I was about to kick that out, you beat me to it.
Yeah, I didn't see anything, so something happened. What would you see? Somebody had a spam thing or what?
Fat says, spam.
Yeah, it's usually
Cargo hold.
one of my annoyances about Twitch. There's so much spam on there.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship released. Please watch for
CMDR
traffic
Lord
during
Narkowicki
departure.
says, spam, I happened. Fat says, we had 3 of them tonight.
Oh, really? Damn. So, last run. I'll check tomorrow. If you're still there, I might lose a little more, but I'm done for tonight.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Frameshift drive charging.
And then if you're still on Wookiee, Narco, let me know if you do end up going out to Colonia so I can stop the return of the carrier. We got 8 or 7 days basically to do it one way or the other. If you don't get out there, that's fine. I'll just throw it up there, buy a new one here. I mean, honestly, that's probably the cheaper way anyway, because that's just 150 million loss. Whereas the amount of fuel to fly back is definitely more than 150 million. Okay. station.
CMDR Lord Narkowookie says, I'll DM and let you know. Been meaning to take him back since the last Titan fell. Good motivation to get it done.
Zorgon Peterson, Golf Alpha Lima. We've prepared a landing pad for your arrival, Commander. Welcome to our station. Landing permitted. Prep for arrival on landing pad 3.
Alright, let's see if there's anybody streaming the game right now. I kind of doubt that there is, but I'll check.
Fat says, I believe humans are the devolved leftover S of the Guardians destroyed by the Thargoids.
Huh. Maybe. Well, there's a few people doing them.
Landing gear deployed.
Good game is still running. Let's see. Let me see if I can set this up to hand over to him.
Landing complete. Clear to disembark. Security forces are on the lookout for dissidents in this area, Commander. I would advise you don't provoke them.
Add the redirect.
Daddy Basilisk says, Guardians had very different physiology. It's in the in-game codex.
There you go. Nope, he's not showing up. I wonder why he isn't. He definitely should set it up if he didn't. Yep, can't bounce it to him. He doesn't have it set up. So I'm just gonna wrap her up. Thanks for watching, guys. We will catch you on the next one.